Triple T? This is Tim. I'm back again with another Table Talk Time reaction. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we do a video here on Table Talk Time. Because remember, this is not my channel, this is your channel, and I'm going to tell you that every single day. And please share these videos. Alright, Triple T, we're going to be reacting today none other than Bottleneck and Outlaw, You Ain't Country. Now this is a 3-year-old music video. Now I've done Bottleneck before on this channel, but I've never done Outlaw, so this will be a first for him. And I've been getting a lot of requests for Bottleneck. And Bottleneck, as y'all know, he's basically the godfather of country rap. He's an OG. He's been here from the jump. So we're going to pay tribute to him because he does have a new album coming out soon. That's what he's been advertising on Instagram. So we're going to go ahead and pay a tribute to Bottleneck, and we're going to play some Bottleneck today. All right, Triple T, you know the deal. Sit back, relax, strap your boots on, enjoy the ride, because we're going to jump up in this. Like I said, we're going to be doing Bottleneck with Outlaw, You Ain't Country. And this was done in February of 2017. All right, let's get it.
This right here is for them old boys in the game that like to talk about it. Y'all know who y'all are.
Boy, you ain't country. You damn right I'm talking to you. You ain't country. You don't do the shit we do. You ain't country. You don't live out in the pines. You ain't country. 'Cause out here we do it right. You ain't country.
Boy, that's a nice little hook right there. Said, hey, you ain't country. You ain't living out here in the pines, you ain't country. And in the beginning, he said, this song's for all those you were faking the funk about being in the country. He said, you know who you are. And there are a lot of posers out there. Y'all know this. Some people believe just because you put on a flannel shirt or drive a big truck, automatically makes you country. It don't work like that. If you say you from the country, well, by God, you better be from the country. If you can talk the talk, you better be able to walk the walk. Because if not, trust me, country folks are going to know who's country and who's not country. I'm just speaking facts there. So if you're one of those people who posing to say you from the country, but you really ain't from the country, or you're not part of that country life, or about that country life, take heed, because people are going to find out, and when they do, they're going to call you out. And that's what Bottleneck is saying. All right, so Outlaw's about to spit. Let's see what he's got. Let's get it.
Better my truck with a big old buck. Boone Crockett Club, here we come like a bucket rut. I got it in my blood, I got it in my veins. Not up in my closet like you poses faking every day. I'm out here shooting deer, I'm out here drinking beer. You out here with them virgin boots, your daddy bought you looking queer.
Boy, that was a bar right there. He said, hey, I'm out here shooting deers, I'm out here drinking beers. He said, you out here with them boots on that your daddy bought you looking queer. That's what I'm talking about right there. Call it like you see it. Hey, I can't tell you how many times I've been out on fishing trips or hunting trips and have a new cat come along, show with all the latest and greatest equipment, and don't even know how to use it. You know they fake. Half the stuff they take out there they don't need. It's just a waste of money. Because when you're in your element, you don't need none of that stuff. Just like, y'all know we just went through a hurricane here in Louisiana. I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of liked it. Yeah, it sucked though. Don't get me wrong. Being without air, it sucks. However, that's my element. Because in Iraq, there is no air conditions. I've been to Iraq 3 times. I loved every bit of it. Hey, that's where the strong will survive. When you're in those rough environments, you know that's when you get to test your manhood or your womanhood to see if you have what it takes to survive. Me, I know I can survive it. Now, my wife, on the other hand, well, you know, she's a city girl. So she couldn't handle it. And she was at her breaking point. Trust me. I caught hell every day from her. But I let it roll off one shoulder, go in one ear and out the other, because I knew that she was under a lot of stress because of the heat. I got it. But that's what he's saying in this song. Don't come out here daggone faking the funk. Because if you do, we're going to call you out. And he said, hey, you looking like a queer. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. That's the first time I heard that word in years. I don't think anybody ever uses that word anymore. Come on, Outlaw. I see you about to preach. Let's get it.
Jumping hogs, flipping frogs, running dogs, and getting lost up in the woods where you don't belong. Don't even think about it, boy. We gon' get you some,
bitch. He said, hey, you out there lost in the woods being somewhere where you don't belong. And that's true. Hey, not even in the country element. I'll take it back to the military element. There are a lot of combat armed soldiers, meaning infantry, tankers, and scouts, artillery guys, who think they know their stuff and can't even read a map. That's the first thing you need to learn as a combat soldier. You got to know how to work the terrain, read the terrain, and be able to read a map, because all the modern technology that they have nowadays in those military vehicles, if they go out, you got to revert back to that map board. If you can't read that map, well, you're going to get lost. And I used to preach that to my soldiers all the time. I used to go to the extent where I would take the batteries out of the GPS in the vehicles and force them to use a map, just to see if they knew what they were doing. And that's what he's saying here. You got people out in the woods go on these hunting trips. Next thing you know, they get lost being somewhere where they don't belong. Meaning you're at some location or being in the woods, period. Because not everybody needs to be in the woods. I'm just going to be honest with you. But that was a fire bar right there. Let's get it.
You damn right I'm talking to you. You ain't country. You don't do the shit we do. You ain't country. You don't live out in the pines. You ain't country. 'Cause out here we do it right. You ain't country. To the bone and the country root. Well, I done seen you in the woods. You know who I'm talking to. I see you got a big hat and tuck your jeans in your boots. Being country's more than how you look. It's just being true. Well, you ain't true. You ain't wood. You ain't real. You ain't shit. You old boys trying hard, so put a real dip in your lip. Country is what country do. It ain't what people think of you. Country folk ain't got a fake, and yeah, we ain't got shit to prove.
Ooh, boy, he said a lot right there. He said, hey, I see you out here with this big old hat. Got your jeans tucked in your boots. Country folks don't dress like that. We don't do that. And then he says, then you want to try to go get some dip, put it in your mouth, and act like you really country. I said, nah. He said, country folks, we don't need to front like that because we know we're true. But he said, I see you. You know who I'm talking to. And he's calling people out on this one. But that hook is fire though. I ain't gonna lie. Bottleneck is preaching now. Come on, Bottleneck. Let's get it.
Fake motherfucker. Boy, you ain't country. You damn right I'm talking to you. You ain't country. You don't do the shit we do. You ain't country. You don't live out in the pines. You ain't country. 'Cause out here we do it right.
true though. I'll have to admit, he said, hey, country people, we know what we doing. So if you ain't out here living in these pines, we know what we can do. You ain't country. You know, just because you might live in a small town, if you ain't out there in the woodlines hunting, fishing, and you ain't part of that life, don't call yourself country. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I grew up in the country and the city. I had both lives. I've gone hunting. I love to fish. I'm really not a big fan of hunting, only because all the field problems I did in the military, sleeping out underneath the stars, on the ground, in the freezing cold and the rain, I don't want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go hang out in a deer stand when it's daggone 15, 20 degrees outside. That's not my cup of tea. I don't find that fun or relaxing. Now, all my brothers, they all hunt. They always trying to get me to go deer hunting with them. My response to them is, when the deer start shooting back, then I'll go. Then it'll be a sport. But I just can't see sitting up in a deer stand 3 o'clock in the morning in the freezing cold to shoot an animal that's not really armed. Call me crazy, but that's just me. Now, if they start shooting back, well, yeah, I'm all in there. I love a good game now. Don't get me wrong. If you want to do some man hunting, I'll do that. As long as they're armed. I'm just saying, because you know the strongest will survive. Like that old song, "A Country Boy Can Survive," and they can. You know, I know how to run a trout line. I know how to do a shine still. Make moonshine. I know how to build houses, run electrical wire. I can do all that. I just choose not to hunt, only because 20 years in the Army, trust me, you out in the field long enough, as much as I done, you don't want to go out there on your time off. That's just the way I look at it. Come on, let's get it.
You ain't country. You ain't country. You ain't country.
Yo, that was a fire song. I ain't gonna lie. I never heard that song before. I'll be honest with you. That's the first time I heard it. But Outlaw, I've heard some of his music before. If you don't know who Outlaw is, go subscribe to his channel. He's got some really good content. He does a lot of outdoor stuff where he'll do a lot of video logs of him hunting, fishing, making traps, showing off all his weapons. He seems like a pretty super cool guy. One of those type of people that he seems like that he would give you the shirt off his back. And he's really intelligent. When you watch his videos and you hear him speak, you know, he might come off like a dumb hillbilly, but the guy is financially smart. And he does do some financial videos too, which I've watched. So Outlaw is really good. Bottleneck, hey, he's an OG. I love Bottleneck. And I'm going to start doing some more Bottleneck because the guy, he's legit. When they say you're a real one, he's a real one. And he's done some, he did some music with Upchurch about a year ago. I don't know if y'all remember that or not. So I'm going to do some reactions on those. But so if you got any Bottleneck fans out there, just know that there's going to be more to come. So just be patient. All right, Triple T, put a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this song. Let me know what you thought about the reaction. Like I always say, you ain't got to like the reaction, but you can't hate the songs. And I think every song I put on the channel so far has been pretty good. Just saying. So put a comment down below so we can talk about it. All right, Triple T, you know the deal. Be kind to yourself, love your family, love your neighbors too, include your enemies. Do unto others as you wish them to do unto you. And as always, God bless you and God bless America. Until next time, Triple T, this is Tim with your Table Talk Time reaction. Have a good day.